left. I'm going to bring your next comic to the Zoom stage. Please welcome Lacey Artemis.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I am Lacey Artemis, and I am a recovering awkward tall chick. It's true. I was extremely awkward as a kid, and I was so awkward that I had a really hard time talking to people, particularly girls. And they were really the only people I wanted to talk to, so that was very frustrating. But at least I was really good at talking to myself. And turned out, plot twist, I am a girl. And once I figured that out, it got so much easier to do my own cooking and laundry, let me tell you. I took that first estrogen pill, and I swear I could feel the spirit of Martha Stewart start coursing through my body. Before that, I thought al dente was some dentist, and coriander was some new non-binary TikTok star. Who knew? And hey, I'm friends with Snoop Dogg too. My dog Snoop, he's such a good boy. So yes, it's true. I am trans and I am a comedian, but I don't want to be known as the trans comedian. I'd rather be known as the trance comedian. So I'm saving up to buy some turntables. We got any fans of dad jokes in the house tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I love the dad jokes. I have a very strained relationship with my father. It's so strained that I call it spaghetti.
Hey.
And when he gets just really on my nerves and I can't take it anymore, I'm like, "Get out of here, Dad. Get out of here." So my dad yells a lot. He really projects his voice, and I think that's where I learned to project my feelings onto other people, because that's a thing that I do. But yeah, when I was younger, my dad kind of like played mind games with me. Like he'd be fixing something and he'd be like, "Go get me a Phillips head screwdriver." And like I knew what a screwdriver was, but I didn't know what the different heads were called. So I went to his workbench and I got a screwdriver and I brought it back to him. And he's like, "No, I said a Phillips head, you dummy. This is a Flurmagrid head. Go get the right one." So I felt kind of dumb from that, but I got some revenge on him because a few years later at Thanksgiving, I said, "Hey, Dad, go to the table and get me my phone. Get me the Google Pixel." But my father's basically a farmer. He is not tech savvy in the slightest. So he brings me up the wrong phone. And I'm like, "No, Dad, I said the Google Pixel. It says it right on the phone, unlike a screwdriver, Dad." But yes, my father was an alcoholic. He's still alive, but he's dead to me. Don't worry about it. But because of that, he really turned me off of drinking. So the only bar that you'll find me at is the legal kind, hitting on lesbian lawyers. Because lesbian lawyers have a really nice paralegals, am I right? So speaking of family, I took a genetic test recently, and it turns out that I'm a genetic morning person. Now, when I tell people this, if they don't, usually they like react with horror and shock, but sometimes they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a morning person too. I have to get up early every day for work." I'm like, hold on a minute, Judy. Let's clear something up here. You saying that you're a morning person because you have to get up for work every day or every morning is like me saying that I'm a gourmet chef because I can cook an omelet without burning down my apartment. You're not the same thing, you see. But so a lot of people have like an internal monologue. They have like this voice inside that kind of narrates their life. And like I have that too, but mine's a rooster, and that cocky bugger is cockadoodle doing at 5 a.m. whether I like it or not. Now, you find people have the benefit of a snooze button. So it goes off, you hit it, you go back to sleep, you're golden. Now, when the call is coming from inside the house, that is not so easy. If I try to hit the snooze button, I cause head trauma. We don't like this. So, you know who my social company is at 5 a.m? The only other people that are awake at 5 a.m. for me to talk to are the gym rats, the walk of shamers, and the serial killers. Otherwise known as your bros, your hoes, and your foes.
Hey.
But they're not my bros or my hoes, but I will admit I have been known to kill a Cheerio from time to time. But at least Cinderella got until midnight before she turned back into a pumpkin. I only get until midday before I turn back into my pajamas. It's really unfortunate having the energy of a 5-year-old at 5 in the morning and the energy of a 95-year-old at 5 at night. So I'm there in my pajamas with my walker, like, is it bedtime yet? So it's like, I'm like, is this DNA under warranty? Because like, I want a freaking refund, you know? But before I transitioned, I used to have resting bro face. Now I have resting hoe face. But I didn't get to have a slut phase like some young people do. I had a shut phase because of all the doors, windows, and inboxes that got shut in my face when I would ask people out.
Oh.
It's okay though, because I'm in an open relationship now. So she can't shut me out and she can't shut me up. So I have this condition called Raynaud syndrome. You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
So apparently we have some sympathizers in the audience. For those who don't know, Raynaud's basically means that you're always cold, even in the summer. So it sucks when you live in Canada like I do, because it's already cold here. But it's okay because my partner is a biofurnace. She totally has the hots for me. And I am her biggest fan. I keep her very cool in the summer. So me and my partner have a few things in common. For instance, we're both autistic, which means that we're both vaccinated. Now, vaccines are no joke, but the 5G is totally worth it. Trust me. Because I mean, have you ever tried to date somebody with only 4 Gs? That is not nearly enough to be my sugar mama. So another thing that we have in common is that we both have ED. My partner has executive dysfunction, and I have erectile dysfunction. But we have lots of fun together. And my partner originally married a man, and I originally thought I was a man. So it turned out we both picked the wrong team at the start. Now, some open couples will do something called they'll have a veto system, which means that they'll have some say in who their partners date. So, they can catch the red flags, be like, that person's bad news, don't date them. So we have that too. We have a veto system. We just don't let each other date gangsters. That was supposed to be mobsters. I screwed up the punchline.
Either way.
But yeah, so have you ever been asked a question that you realized that you were totally unprepared to answer and you freak out? Because I was at this queer event one time and the host is like, so when did you realize that you were queer? And I'm like, oh shit, because I basically became queer by virtue of transition, which feels like changing political affiliation by virtue of redistricting. Because last week I'm in the straight district, but then I get a letter in the mail that says, now you're in the dyke district. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you know what? Actually, this is good news because the straights are totally not okay. They vote libertarian. All right, that's my time. Thank you.
Yeah, Lacey.
Yeah.